So at the age of 21, this is me sitting in the county, accused of 22 robberies, charged for 7, facing a life sentence at the age of 20 years old. My life had no direction. This is me out of control, and this is my testimony, part 3 of the county.
This country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the money. That's why you gotta make your own moves.
Whoa, what's up, Patreon family? This video just for y'all, man. All right, real quick video, man. What's up, YouTube? Because I'm putting this on YouTube too. I got a couple announcements to make though before I get started. All right, so the giveaway Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Time, December 6th, man. Be there. I'm giving away 25 memberships to my Patreon, y'all. And I'm gonna do it a certain way, but I'm not gonna do it right at 6. I'm gonna give everybody time and shit like that to get there. You feel me? So y'all tune in Sunday to my live at 6 p.m. Central Time. You feel me? All right, next thing, I dropped the testimony video, part 2, and I had some paperwork at the end. Shout out Patreon, that video's going up now. All right, YouTube, I got the paperwork out. As you see, I got a stack of paperwork right here, but I'm gonna give you just a little bit, man. Y'all go join that Patreon for the full story. So I had in testimony part 2, I had told y'all about SWAT team hitting the house. They hit the wrong place, and I told y'all because we was in the apartment across the street because there was a shooting incident, and a lot of people was in the comments wanted to know about what happened. So here go a little brief, brief paragraph of a little what happened with that day. But some of this is a lie, y'all. So don't fucking believe everything some of this is a lie. It says, on another occasion, apartment maintenance entered apartment, shots fired called at the location sometime over the weekend of August 7, 2010. Report that someone believed they saw the occupants in blank apartment shooting a person and putting the body in the apartment complex. So if you want
there for me, and I can say I'm strong.
To know here and hear, you know, the full scoop, the story about that shit, man, go join that Patreon. If not, I will have testimony part 3 dropping soon for y'all, man. And to all my Patreon supporters that have signed up, it's going down, man. That gift.
I'm wiser.
Part 3 in the county, baby. Man, that song that y'all just heard, Marvin Sapp, played a significant part of my life during the time of incarceration. For a simple fact, I thought my life was over. It was a battle, man. Being in the county is the worst feeling in the world. The worst the worst thing in the world is being locked up and not knowing your fate. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting in the county not knowing if I'm finna ever be free again or if I'm gonna be in prison for the rest of my life. And this is my testimony. I tell this story as a testimony, not to glorify it, because as you can see, I'm out here on the camera talking to you, and I thank God every day for that opportunity, man. I'm blessed, and I'm finna tell y'all why. In Texas, you don't have 5, 6 robbery charges and only get 10 years, man. Without no snitching shit, without no telling on your homies, all that shit. Now, all that go into play, yes, you can get time like that. I'm speaking from a solid point of view, you know what I mean? So let me get into the story. So now I'm sitting in the county, man. I had just got out of TDC 8 months ago, so everybody's mad at me. My whole family, pretty much. Everybody, you know, my mama had already said when I got out, she was like, look, you go back, I love you, but it's gonna be tough love. I'm not gonna be there with you. I'm not gonna be riding with you. And you know, that it's so crazy how everything happened ironically, because my mama is always the one that ride with me through anything. But this time when I went to the county only, nobody. I mean, everybody was mad at me. I had so many charges. I mean, everybody thought it was pretty much over with, that I wouldn't see daylight again. Before I get into that, though, I want to talk about my sisters. Shout out to all my sisters. I love all my sisters. They actually all tatted on me, too. But my sister Fabian, man, she was my rock when I was in the county. just like y'all don't even know how it feel, not knowing if you're gonna be free again and nobody talking to you. Like everybody's upset with you, man. But shout out to my sister, man. This is actually her. I had got her tatted on me down there, man. Loyalty is everything. But I would say the first 2-3 weeks in the county was all just investigative work. I had so many detectives coming down there trying to question me, interview me. Of course, I turned all that shit down. Like I mentioned, man, they were trying to get me for a bunch of shit. And I'm going to be honest, you know, some shit I did, some I didn't. Most of it I didn't, that they were trying to get me for. You feel me? Okay, so I'm sitting in the county for about a month and a half before I finally meet my attorney. Mind you, I didn't pay for this attorney. They appointed me this attorney. Well, really not appointed. He took my case pro bono, man. Shout out to Mitchell Nolte, man, out of Plano, Texas, or McKinney, Texas. I love that man to death. Mitchell Nolte pulls up to me. He's a white guy, man, young, in his like 30s, man. And at the time I'm 20, 21, and he says, I'm your attorney. I took your case pro bono. I'm gonna do my best given the circumstances. So we start going into the case. First thing off the muscle, he tells me, hey, the prosecutor today offered you 60 years. When he said that, everything just sunk, man. The life went out of me when he said 60 years. And that's what started my downfall in the county. So we ended up talking. He tells me they don't have no evidence. I don't see why they're offering 60 years. So I go back to the pod after my lawyer tell me this, and I'm just hurt, you know. It's a little anger mixed in with a little sadness, mixed in with a little emotions on my family, because my sister's the only one that's fucking with me at the time, you know. And don't know if I'm to spend the rest of my life in prison. So that led up to me going back to the pod and just getting in trouble, man. The next day, I think I had a fight. A week after that, a week after that, I think I was getting into it with the guards. A week after that, so all that ended up leading to them putting me in a single cell in the county. I ended up going to a lockup for a while. So now I'm in lockup. I can't get to nobody. They can't get to me. You feel me? And lockup made it even worse. Lockup made it even worse. Imagine being in a bathroom with your problems 24 hours a day. You don't get no freedom. Imagine being locked in a bathroom with your problems 24 hours a day, and you just want to release it, let it out on something somehow. So this eventually led to my suicidal attempts or suicidal thoughts in the county. Now I'm mad at the county too, because now they got me in lockup. They won't let me in general population with everybody. You know, I don't get to hang. I don't get to do shit. I'm just in the cell all day, either writing a letter or reading a book. And that added to my stubbornness at 21, my childishness at 21, my anger at 21, you feel me? So it came a day where I said, you know what, today's the day. They're going to have to take me out. Still remember it like it was yesterday. It all started over a picture. I'm already in lockup. And in this county, you could only have like 10 pictures, you feel me, with you. And if the guard come in there, shake your cell down, find more than 10 pictures, they take your pictures from you, your family pictures. So this is what set me off. I had a bunch of pictures of my daughter. She was the only one that was born at the time. I got locked up 5 days before she turned 1 year old. So I was out there, you know, doing everything with her. I had like 15 pictures of my daughter from my sister. You know, she was the only one sending pictures, stuff like that. And they came in there one day and took them. I felt like they took my life from me right then and there and didn't give them back. And that's what led to the suicide attempt. So the day they took them, I caused hell. I'm beating on my door, asking all kinds of questions, asking for lieutenant rank, all this shit. But back in lockup, they don't have to do none of that shit. I can't do shit about it, but I'm still young at the time, so I'm like, man, I can't do shit about it, so I'm just finna get these motherfuckers hell. They're gonna have to kill me. The next day is when I did my little, I ain't gonna say suicide attempt, but when I wanted to try to go out. So the next day, it's early in the morning, like around breakfast time. They come through, they shower you for They come through, they put handcuffs on you and they shower you. They open your bean slot and you got to stick your hands and cuff up or whatever. But this day they open my slot, I jack the slot, I stick my hand in there just like this. I stick my elbow in there just like this, and I tell them hoes, we finna run it. I ain't gonna lie, this county don't play no motherfucking games. Collin County, they don't play no games. When it's time to extract an inmate or restrain an inmate, they square business. I done seen it happen so many times. But today is my day to shine. I done seen it happen so many times, but today is my day to shine. I'm trying to show them that, I ain't no hoe, and it's gonna take 6, 7 of y'all. I'm finna get some respect in this bitch. So at the time, I'm young, thinking like, hey, I'm finna get some respect in this bitch. I'm finna go out like a soldier. So the next day, they come in to shower us. I stick my elbow in the bean slot, jack the slot. When you don't get a slot back, they got to do a cell extraction. So I forced them to do a cell extraction. That's the only how they'll open the door and come in. You know what I mean? Give me fair action. And this was my emotional depression, suicidal time. I didn't want to kill myself. I wanted them to take me out. So this day I knew they start suiting up and they coming with the team. It's like 4 or 5 of them, and they finna come in hard. That's it. And so I'm not no rookie to jail. And so I try to even the advantage a little bit before they come in the cell. This is what I do. I go get my grease, grab a big glob of grease and start rubbing it everywhere. I grab a big glob of grease and start rubbing it in my hands. First thing first, I go straight to the door on the ground and start rubbing grease all on the ground, all the way. I don't miss a spot. Then I throw a little water on there. Then I throw a little water on that spot. So let's just say the front of the door is where this camera at, and the back of my cell is where the TV at. So they got to come all the way in to the back to get me. So the first 6, 7 feet, they going to be slipping and sliding, you feel me? And that's going to even my advantage just a little bit, but it's still 6 or 7 motherfuckers coming in on you feel me? Next thing I do, I take my shirt off and get bare skin. I grease my whole motherfucking body. I'm ass naked, grease my whole body. That's my second advantage. When these motherfuckers trying to restrain me, grab me and shit, they gonna be slipping, all kinds of shit. These are all convict tools of bucking the system, Not glorify it. I'm just giving y'all the game. You feel me? Okay, so long story short, man, I'm ready to go to war. These bitches roll the door. They come in. These bitches come in. I'm all the way at the back. The first motherfucker to make it to me, I try to take his head off, y'all. Long story short, I go hard with the bars for like 5 minutes before they finally restrain me, bust my nose, twist me up, and get me in a stance where I won't do anything no more. I think one of them had my arm so jacked up and twisted it up that if he would have moved it like a millimeter to the left, it would have snapped. That's how they restrain you. But long story short, they ended up restraining me. That made my time worse in the county. I ended up doing, I think, like 7, 8 months in lockup before I started getting my act together and before they let me out. During this time, though, I never seen my attorney, but he was sending me letters because the only reason I didn't see him was because the prosecutor wasn't coming off 60 years. Every letter he came, he was like, hey, look, they want you to take 60 years. 60, it was a bunch to the case. In the meantime, my sister, while I'm in lockup going through this suicidal time, she's writing me letters, sending me pictures, coming to see me, stuff like that, just really rocking out, man, making me just have a purpose in life again. So the time come when it's time, I end up writing administration, asking them, I start getting my act together and I write administration. I ask them, can I get out? Some lady comes to interview me. Hey, are you good now? You don't want any problems, this and that. Long story short, I tell her I'm gonna do good and that they can put me back in population. They put me back in population, and at this time, so now I got a little bit of freedom. I can use the phones. I can call, ask what's going on with the lawyer, shit like that. In lockup, you can't do none of that. You can't use the phones. You just basically get a shower and you gotta write letters. That's it. So now I'm out where I can move around a little bit more, make some moves, call some people, shit like that. Don't get me wrong. I think I didn't talk to my mama the whole time I was in the county. I did. I talked to her in the county. But every time I talked to my mama in the county, it was to the fact of, you better pray. You better get your life together. And, and I understood what she was saying. Like, at the time, I was lost, man. I understand what she was saying now, but at the time I was lost. Like, I would call her, she'd be like, man, you better start praying, let's pray. And then I'd be like, Mama, I've been praying, man, I've been praying. Like, that's what I would tell her. And she'd be like, you don't believe in God, you ain't praying, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff, because of the way. I was like, man, I do pray, Mama, I do pray, this and that, that type of stuff. And she really felt the genuine, like, she know, if you really had that connection. And at the time, I didn't have that connection. I was just saying, yeah, I do pray, man. I'm praying that they can let me out of here, all kinds of stuff. I was praying for the wrong things, And so that was most of our conversations was about. And court, stuff like that, how much time they offering me, what's the next plan, this and that. So time go by, maybe a year and like 4 or 5 months, and my lawyer comes to see me. He says, all right. I said, hey, the prosecutor's offering 40 years now. This is at like a year and 4 months in the county. Now he's been on 60 years so long. So now 40, I actually really thought about it. I really thought about like, damn. And eventually I told him like, I came back to reality. 40 years is too much. But I had told my lawyer that day, I said, look, I'm not going to be the type to try to get out of this shit. None of that, man. If the prosecutor can cut it in half to 20 years, then we could talk. I'll talk about it, take it 20 years, this and that, this and that. My lawyer had a deep conversation with me then. He said, when I seen your mug shot, man, I thought different. I ain't gonna lie. He said, when I seen your mug shot, man, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And when I seen the news story, he said, but I can tell, that I can tell that you a good-hearted person, and I don't know why you was doing what you were doing, but I can tell it wasn't for hurt. It was for money. And he said, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm your lawyer, and the evidence they have is very, very little. So I'll go talk to the DA about this 20 years, but I'm advising you now. Just let me work, and I'll get you the best thing I can get. And I put my trust in that man. And that day, my life just started changing. I went back to the cell. I prayed, honestly prayed that day that he would give me that 20 years. It's crazy how everything happened. I called my mama, I called my mama that day. It was just an exciting day to hear 40 years instead of 60, So that started but that was the beginning of my deep connection with God that day. So I would say, man, 2-3 months later down the line, I had a co-defendant. And he was younger than me. I don't want to too much speak on his story. They offered him probation to snitch on me because they had no evidence on me. It's literally, man, I don't even want to talk about this shit. All right, baby, so it's finna get deep, man, So I had a co-defendant. My brother was locked up at the time. I had a co-defendant, man. All right, so now it get deep, man, My lawyer went and talked to the prosecutor, tried to get him to cut it in 20. The prosecutor wasn't trying to hear that shit. He went behind my lawyer's back and offered my co-defendant a deal. He's told my co-defendant, if you testify on SOC, we'll give you probation. My co-defendant's facing a lot of charges too, but at the time, he's never been to jail. He's 17. He's younger, so they felt like I was the ringleader. So I was the ringleader to them, So I still got this letter, man. My co-defendant wrote me that day. The same day they offered him probation, he wrote me, man, and told me, and this has been my co-defendant wrote me that day and told me, man, death before dishonor. I would never, And that was deep, man. He's in prison to this day. That's why I'm kind of getting, emotional about the shit, because he didn't deserve the time he got. But due to his situation and his attorney and everything else that played out the way it played out, he got that time. But I still write him, stuff like that, man. But that was some real shit, man. He wrote me. 17 years old, never met a 17. I mean, solid. Never met a kid like this before in my life. They offered him probation. They offered him probation to snitch on me. He turned them down. Wrote me a letter, death before dishonor. Ended up going to trial first, y'all. He went to trial first. And he ended up going to trial first, y'all. And they gave him 40 years. Like I said, they were offering him a lot of time too, but he went to trial and they ended up finding him guilty, and they ended up giving him 40 years. Sad, man. He sacrificed his life for mine, man, because he could have had probation. He could be out here right now. Seriously. And that's some deep shit, man. You don't get, people don't know why, people don't know why I am the way I am. People don't even know why I am the way I am. Even when I got out, people still don't understand today how I changed my life so much, man. It's a lot of people from the past that pull up on me and be like, damn, bro, you're not the same at all, man. You not. And you gotta understand, this kid could have snitched on me and got probation, man. And he wrote me and told me death before dishonor, and ended up sacrificing his life, 40 years, to not snitch, man. And it don't get no realer than that, y'all. That's why I say I'm blessed to have the life I have, to have the people I have. I never dealt with a lot of people in life. But all right, but back to the story. So my lawyer tries to go get the DA to come down to 20 years. The DA goes behind my back, try to get my co-defendant to snitch on me. So after my co-defendant goes to trial, gets 40 years, my lawyer comes the same day and lets me know. He says, hey, man, your co-defendant went to trial today, got 40 years. And I think I cried that whole, and I'm going to be real with y'all, man, I cried that whole day in the county jail. That was the only time I cried in the county, man. But so my lawyer lets me know everything. He leaves. Now I'm going on my 2-year mark in the county, y'all. I would say we right at 19 months in the county. My co-defendant has already been shipped to prison, and it's going into an election year. This is crazy how this happened. My case played out so long in the county due to me being stubborn, of not wanting to cop out, and due to lack of evidence. If the evidence is strong, you go to trial right away. They don't sit there and play with you, So connection with God. This is my Bible, y'all, from the county. Well, I actually wrote a whole bunch of people's information down to contact when I get out, stuff like that. So I started getting in tune, man. Facing all these charges in the county. I would say, at my 21 month, they was ready to go to trial. At 20 months or 21 months, they were ready to go to trial. My lawyer comes to me. He says, all right, got some good news for you. The DA offered 20 years today. They want you to sign for it right now. But I'm going to let you do you, man. But I'm your lawyer, and I'm going to go over everything with you first. And then I'll let you make your decision. I love this guy to death. Boom, he pulls out a bunch of paperwork, y'all, everything. He pulls out everything. Okay, this is what the shit that they tried to hit you for that you didn't do. There's absolutely nothing connecting you to this. All right, these are the 5 charges that they got charged, that they got you charged with. I've got 2 counts already dropped. This dude is straightforward, y'all. He goes straight forward, just start laying the evidence out. All right, victims, nobody can identify you. Nobody can say you was there. There's no fingerprints on the gun. Nobody can prove that, you pointed that gun. Nobody can prove that you robbed him. There's only a witness saying this. And the witness is in Colorado somewhere. She disappeared. The prosecutor can't find her. So they came down to 20 years, and they want you to take that today. And he kept going over some other evidence, like cell phone records, different shit, man. He went through all the evidence, and he let me know, this is what I want to do, man. I've been an attorney for a while, and he tells me just like this, y'all. He says, I don't think you should take the 20 years. They can't prove you did this. Don't take the 20 years. Let me go to trial. We can win this. This is what I did, y'all. After he went over all the evidence, over everything, y'all, this is what I did. I told him, I said, no, I did this. I'm not trying to, get totally out of it. I don't want to go to trial, take a chance of, losing, stuff like that. No, I don't want to do any of that. I want to atone for what I did, but something reasonable. And he said, well, I can respect that. That's your decision, man. He said, I ain't gonna lie, this will look really, really good if I go to trial and win all these cases on my resume. But it's not about me. It's about you and your life. And everybody know in Texas, man, it's a 12 people jury. Out of 12, you're gonna have 10 white. Everybody know that in Texas, man. So So I told him, I said, thank you for all that you've done for me, man. See if the prosecutor will come down to 10 years. And if they come down to 10 years, I will take it. I would say he went, talked to the prosecutor the very next day. So I'm chilling, y'all. The next day, he pulled up on me and pulled me out. And he says, man, I went and talked to the prosecutor yesterday. Like that. And I was like, yeah, so what they say? He said, man, so I went in there, I told them, look, evidence connecting Walker to the crime scene, nobody. Can any of the victims say that Sock was the one who did this, meaning that they seen his face? No. Fingerprints connecting Socrates to the crime scene? No. Actually caught at the crime scene that night? No. This is what he's telling me, that, he's doing a bluff tackle or whatever with the DA. I don't know how it all worked. But anyway, long story short, man, he talked to me for like an hour, and it was like, after all that, I'm ready to go to trial. That's what he said. But I got some good news, man. It came down to 10 years, and they want you to sign for it tomorrow. But it's up to you. I want to take it to trial, but it's up to you. If you want to sign for this 10 years, take it. I told him I did it. I'm not finna play with it. I'll take this 10 years, y'all. And boom, I signed for 10 years. Oh my God, my life, like that burden. I didn't even cry when I signed for the 10 years. An angel just lifted a burden off of my shoulders, y'all. But I'm not out of the water yet. I still got a bunch of cases pending in Dallas County, and I got some other shit that's being investigated that I might be charged with. But thank God that I'm done with the charges that I'm charged with. So go back to the pod. I'm happy. I say a little prayer. I would say like 30, 40 days go by. They shoot me off the prison, man. And the story continues after that. With that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. Go sign up for that Patreon. Much love and respect. It's your boy Sock signing off.